guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm very excited today to bring you the introduction to my Pan That Palette 2016 challenge. So once again, I have 3 palettes and I'm going to show them all to you and then kind of talk about why I decided to choose them and all of that. So let's get started. The first palette is something you are very familiar with. It is my Hourglass Ambient Lighting palette. So if you followed me in 2015, you know I was trying to pan this in 2015, and my goals for this palette kind of changed throughout the year, and so this is where I'm starting. I am filming this a little bit before the end of 2015. It is December 20th, so I have 10 more days. So I haven't quite finished off Radiant Light. You can see there's some kind of around the corners and the edges, but I'm very confident that I'll be able to finish that in the next 10 days. I just really wanted to film this video because I've been so indecisive about what palettes I'm going to use, and so I finally think I made up my mind, and I thought if I just filmed it, then I would stick to it and stop stressing about which one to do. So anyway, my goal for this year is I definitely want to try to use up this middle shade, and I use this as a highlight. It's a very subtle highlight. It's perfect for every day, and as you can see, I'm about halfway done. I didn't use this every single day in 2015, but if you guys know, I dropped this and I broke it, so the parts that broke off I had in a jar that I crushed up and used as a loose powder. So I'm guessing that using it that way, I probably went through it a little bit faster just because I think it was loose and, you know, a lot would go on my brush, and for this one the baked products are a lot harder, so you kind of have to rub, and so I feel like I probably some more got wasted when it was in the loose form than the baked form. So hopefully if I use this more consistently than I did in 2015, then I'll be able to get through the second half. And then dim light, I would love to finish this off. I don't know if it's possible, but I think it might be. I usually use this all over my face, so I need more of it than the incandescent light shade. So we'll see how far I can get with this palette in 2016. The next palette I decided to throw in here at the suggestion of my friend Ashley from Love, Health, and Makeup. She commented on one of my other videos that I should put this in this project, and I've mentioned several times this year that I'm trying to use up as many cream blushes as I can, but for some reason I hadn't thought about putting this in this project, even though it is a cream blush palette. So thank you to Ashley for that suggestion, and you probably know already, this is the Balm How About Them Apples palette. I've been working on this really hard all year, so I will show you where I'm at. So this was a peachy pink shade up here, Cider, and I used that up at my first Project 10 pan ever before I even had a YouTube channel. Then this one fell off on camera when I was showing my progress on one of these, and it was the only one that had shimmer in it, and I really hated it. I never was planning on using that one up, so since it fell out, I just decided not to bother gluing it back in, and I threw it out. So I have 4 shades left here. These 2 were in projects this year, and my goal was just to hit pan on them, which I did, and then these 2 I haven't gotten a ton of use out of, but I have used both of them. So my goal is to kind of finish maybe these 2 in the spring and summer. This one I like more in the fall, so I'll continue to use it maybe until the fall comes, and then this one I like to in the winter kind of time. So these 2 will kind of be from now until spring, and then again at the end of the year. So I will swatch these all for you. Sorry, my hands are a little bit dirty because I've been filming a lot of videos and they have like eyeshadow remnants all over them. But this one is Candy, Caramel, Pie, and Cobbler, and these are super pigmented. You only need the tiniest amount or else you'll look like a clown. So while they look pretty intense in these swatches, when you blend them out, even the red one, like I can kind of, it looks like a nice kind of healthy glow, like you just came in from a cold winter day or something. So I really like these. Obviously they're not the longest lasting cream blushes. They probably last, you know, between 4 and 6 hours. It depends on which one it is. So I usually set them with powder blushes, and that helps them last a little bit longer. So I thought that would be a great way to use up this palette but still be able to use other blushes so I don't get too bored. So hopefully I'll be able to finish off this entire palette this year. That would be really, really exciting. And then finally, probably what you are all the most excited to hear is what eyeshadows I'm going to pan this year. And I really struggled with whether or not I wanted to do any eyeshadows this year because while I really love the long-term progress that I saw using my Lorac Pro, I don't like that I neglected the rest of the shadows in my collection. So I was trying to find a way that I could do both, basically, and I think I came up with a big solution. So, a good solution. Clearly I cannot talk today. So I went back and forth between two options, and I guess I might as well just tell you what the other one was. For a while I was thinking about trying to pan this Rainforest After Dark palette. I first thought about panning this year, like in April maybe of 2015. So I want to try to pan this blush this year, and figured I might as well try to at least hit pan on everything in here and then maybe try to use up some of the eyeshadows. I really don't like this dark one though, so I was thinking about that, but then I was also going back and forth with the palette I ended up choosing. So this palette is the oldest eyeshadow in my collection. It's the first high-end eyeshadow palette I ever bought. I have decluttered it several times and it keeps coming back into my life, mostly because I'm not going to throw it away. It was a high-end purchase and just nobody wants to buy it. I've tried to sell it several times. I've never gotten much interest, and I was going back and forth between these two palettes, and someone wanted to buy it and I was super excited. I was like, there, decision made. I don't have to worry about which one to pan. But then that ended up not working out, which is fine. I feel like it's just the universe telling me that this is the palette I should be panning this year, and I'm feeling pretty good about it right now. So this is the Smashbox Blue Eyes palette. This was the first thing I ever bought at Sephora. I've told this story probably in a bunch of videos, but I will tell it again. So I had never been to Sephora. I really wasn't into makeup. I had two eyeshadow trios from the drugstore, and one was from Maybelline, and I had had it for so long that like the lid broke off, and for a while I just had it like in my drawer loose with no lid, and one day I decided like, this is getting kind of gross, I'm just gonna throw it away. And I don't remember when exactly that was, but a few weeks or months later, I don't remember, I went to the mall. I was looking for the OPI Gwen Stefani nail polishes, and I decided to check in Sephora. I didn't know if they carried OPI because I'd never really gone to Sephora. So, you know, I went inside, I saw that I didn't carry OPI, but I was looking around and I thought, you know what, since I only have one thing of eyeshadow, I might as well treat myself and get like a really nice thing of eyeshadow. It was right after Christmas, you know, I had some Christmas money to burn, so I decided to get this. The main reason was I felt really overwhelmed with being in there. I had no idea what I was doing, and I always used to follow the directions on the back of my Maybelline trio. So this one came with directions, and that was really important to me. And also, like, I wasn't sure what colors would work on me, but I know that I have blue eyes, so I felt pretty confident that this would work for me. And I ended up I used this for a few weeks, and then I ended up getting the Naked palette, like, not that far after this, probably 2 or 3 weeks. I was shopping with my sister, and we were kind of having a treat yourself day, and she purchased the Naked palette for me. So then I was kind of more into the Naked palette, and I kind of forgot all about this, and it's kind of been sat in the drawer and ever since. So the reason I thought this would be a good palette to pan this year is because it's very neutral and I can definitely work in other shadows. First of all, it's the smallest eyeshadow palette I think I have. That's not true, I have a couple 5 pans, but it is pretty small. This has 4.56 grams, so each one is less than 1 gram. And I really think I can use up this entire thing, but I'll also be able to incorporate other palettes. So what I'm going to do is something that I think a lot of people are doing this year. I know Makeup Puzzle and Miss Julia's, I guess I've never said that out loud, so I don't know how to say it. Miss Julie's, are both doing the same kind of thing where I'm going to do this in conjunction with a 1 month, 1 palette type thing. So every month I'm going to pick a different palette. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it by month or by week or 2 weeks, something like that. I haven't figured that out, but I'll let you know. I'm going to have a palette that I use in conjunction with this palette. So I will go ahead and swatch all of these for you. There is a little insert that has the names on it. So here they are. So this is, let's see, Custard, Sable, and Mocha, and Cream, Shell, and Pewter. So we all know I do really like this shade. It's very similar to Pistol from Urban Decay, which is my favorite single eyeshadow I have. And I think this is going to be really versatile because this one is pretty close to my skin tone. I can wear it all over the lid, and then this one I can wear in the crease, and so I can, you know, use different lid shades from other palettes, or I can use some of these shimmery shades on my lids as well. So I don't think I will get too, sorry, I just hit the camera. I don't think I'll get too bored with this because first of all, it's smaller, so it will be easier, I think, to use up entirely. It's about half of what is in the Lorac Pro. And like I said, it leaves a lot open to bring in other palettes. So yeah, so this is what I'm going to be painting this year. I'm going to take photos of all this stuff, and in my next update, like I will continue to do once a month, I will have the photos at the end so you can compare the progress. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know what you guys are doing for your Pan That Palette challenges if you are doing one this year. I think this is a good compromise between not doing one and doing a bigger palette. So hopefully it goes really well. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!